Okay, so let's be real. Have you ever tried to get an AI to plan a big creative project for you? You type in your grand idea, hit enter, and what you get back is just blah. Totally underwhelming. Well, if that's you, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dig into how to actually get fantastic results and stop getting those frustrating fails. And yeah, this right here just says it all, doesn't it? On the one hand, you have the dream, this brilliant AI creative director who just gets your vision. But the reality? It often feels more like you've got a confused intern who just learned a bunch of buzzwords yesterday. It's a super common problem, but here's the twist. It might not actually be the AI's fault. So, the root of this whole issue is what I like to call the AI autopilot myth. This belief that you can just toss a single big command at it, walk away, and come back to a perfectly finished plan. But as we're about to see, that way of thinking is exactly why those first prompts almost always fall flat on their face. I mean, we've all been there, right? This is exactly what the author of this piece did. You go to this incredibly powerful tool and you give it one massive, all-encompassing command, and it kind of feels like it should work. You're being clear, you're telling it the end goal. What could go wrong? Well, here's what goes wrong. This is the pitfall in action. The AI came back with a plan so generic, so vague, it could have been for literally anything. Launching a new brand of cereal, writing a sci-fi novel, you name it. And when a plan is designed for everything, it's really useful for nothing. It was completely and utterly useless. So what's the next logical step? You blame the tool, of course. You think, maybe this AI just isn't that good. So you try another one, and then another one. But as the author here found out, the results were exactly the same every single time. And that's when you realize, maybe the problem isn't the tool. Maybe it's the entire approach. Okay, so after all that frustration of hitting a wall over and over, there was this massive aha moment, a real breakthrough. And it all came down to a huge shift in mindset, from thinking of yourself as a delegator to becoming more of a conductor. And here it is, the big realization. The issue was never about finding some magical AI that could read your mind. The real problem was the process itself. Being a passive delegator just doesn't work. And that brings us to the solution, this really cool concept called AI orchestration. Think about it. Instead of just handing off the whole project, you become the conductor of an orchestra. You've got all these different specialized AI tools, and you're the one directing them, telling each one what to play and when to play it. And the most important part, it's all guided by your human vision. So that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical and turn that big idea into a real-world blueprint you can start using on your own projects, like today. It really boils down to 4 key steps. Number 1, and this is the most critical part, is you define your human vision. The AI can't invent that for you. That's your unique spark. Step 2, you select your players. You pick the right specialized AI for each specific task. Then, step 3, you prompt them in a logical sequence, kind of like an assembly line, where the output of one tool can become the input for the next. And finally, step 4, you, the architect, step back in to curate and synthesize all the pieces into one cohesive whole. And here's what that looks like in practice. It's like building a custom toolkit for your project. So for the ideation phase, you'd use a generative text AI, because it's great at just throwing out tons of creative ideas. But then, when you need to summarize a bunch of market data, you'd switch to a data analysis AI. Time for a mood board? An image generation AI is your best bet. It's all about matching the right tool to the right job. I mean, the logic here is so simple, but it's really powerful. You wouldn't ask the violin section of your orchestra to play the drum part, right? It would be a disaster. You use each tool for what it's uniquely good at, and when you do that, you get high-quality work at every single stage of the project. So when you zoom out, what does this big shift from being a delegator to a conductor really mean for us as creative people? Well, it points to a whole new essential role emerging in this age of AI, this synthetic architect. And this right here is the main takeaway. The goal of AI is not to make human creativity obsolete, not even close. In fact, it's the opposite. It demands a higher level of creative leadership from us. We are still the architects. It's just that now we have this incredible new set of power tools that lets us build things we never could have before. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. As all these AI tools get more and more powerful and specialized, Is it possible that the most important creative skill of the future won't be mastering a single craft, but instead becoming